episode 245 of the TV Dudes podcast, recorded July 10th, 2019. Coming up. Coming up, Randy.
It's coming up.
Coming up.
It's coming up.
To the moon.
What's coming up?
So the TV upfronts have hit, and we just talked about these a few years ago. We used to talk about the trailers and
Upfronts makes it sound so fancy and like there's some cool inside baseball back,
But honestly, the number of network shows we watch is like 10% of what they put on.
Yeah.
So mostly when we talk about
Upfronts
shows,
is just a long block of pretty badly edited commercials for these shows. It seemed like
they all look the same. They all look pretty terrible.
Yeah.
It is disappointing, and the purpose of upfronts is generally to get advertisers behind like a lot of these shows.
That's why they're so generic. They're trying to hit all four quadrants.
That explains a lot because they don't seem targeted to anybody. They just seem...
It's not targeted to viewers.
They're generic. The music is like underwhelming choices always. It's just...
I would recommend everybody watch like the whole string of like 20 or 25 of these in a row because the formula starts to click for you and it gets really like oddly generically funny. We're like, are these real shows or is this just going to be called Cop Lawyer MD?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does start to look like maybe there's a UHF show and this is all a riff on trailers. Yeah. But we also thought because we talked about upfronts, we thought we'd also talk about some of the non-network shows that are coming up that we are excited for later in the year.
And there's a good gaggle of interesting shows.
Yes, there are.
No Game of Thrones, no Stranger Things.
No.
Grant's crossing his arms and being grumpy about this. But there's some interesting content coming up. Folks, we are the TV Dudes. I'm Grant.
I'm Randy.
I'm Les.
And let's just dive into it then, Randy. You got a list, or Les? You got a list?
Les has the upfronts.
Yes.
So let's do this.
All right. So first off, there is something called The Judge Show. I think it's really called All Rise, but it's The Judge Show.
It is called All Rise, and it looks like a generic
Judge Show.
Courtroom show.
It's The Judge Show. She's
Courtroom
tough.
drama.
She's tough.
Yeah, but she also has a heart, know. And,
I know, she feels for people, but
she's
the law.
a true believer in justice.
Yeah.
And sometimes, she's got to go against the lawyers, even though something seems like a cold cut case.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to, she's tough. So then there's also The Unicorn, which is a sitcom starring Walton Goggins.
Why? Okay.
No, but Grant, I haven't told you the joke yet. His wife's dead.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm sold. Oh,
what the fuck is this show?
As long as I can imagine myself married to Walton Goggins in this reality, I think I'm good.
So Walton Goggins, by the way, did some of the best work in dramatic TV on The Shield and then Justified.
And then Vice Principals.
And then he decided to go comedy. He did Vice Principals. He's done a bunch of movies he should not be in, like the G.I. Joe sequel. And
American
I'm sorry,
Ultra.
I love Ant-Man and Wasp, but there's no fucking way Walton Goggins should have been playing a third-rate bad guy in Ant-Man and Wasp.
What was he in that? That was so lame.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, and then The Hateful Eight. He was okay in.
Yeah. I actually liked him in Hateful Eight. But in general, I feel like he's decided, I like doing this goofy stuff. I don't want to play serious. And it's not his strength.
Yeah.
It's not like Timothy Oliphant, who worked out great in Santa Clarita Diet. Walton Goggins should have stuck to drama. So please tell us, Les, what's he done this time?
Oh, no, I mean, that's it. His wife's dead.
Oh, my God.
And he's trying to date again. So he's what they're calling a unicorn, which this seems like some network executive does not fully understand what unicorn means as a cultural term right now, because it does not mean middle-aged man whose wife is dead, so he's back on the single market, but he hasn't had sex in 20 years.
That's not what unicorn means.
No, it's not.
Unicorn means if this was about Walton Goggins as a unicorn,
exactly.
That would be an edgy network
and
show.
Honestly, when I saw what the title of it was, and I was like, cool, where are you going with this? Because he is not like the preferred sexual partner for two other people.
So Grant,
who got the call to call it unicorn?
Grant, do you know what a unicorn is? Please tell me. I want you to tell me on the mic.
No.
I hope our listeners know what a unicorn is, because I am now endlessly amused about a story in which Walton Goggins is being used for a variety of threesomes.
Right.
That's a funny show.
Because what it's about, and I think it's Michaela Watkins from Casual.
God, I love
that's also
her
in
too.
it.
What's she doing?
Wait, a unicorn is a person that just like is joins in
is
with
the
couples
unattached. Likes everybody.
It's the third
perfect.
wheel. It's typically used as a derogatory term for
third wheel.
Well, like it's the woman who's bisexual who gets basically used by the couple for the threesomes. And people called unicorn hunters generally thought it was pretty shitty people.
Yeah.
And the notion is that the unicorn is the one. It's like because they're rare. Because the perfect person for a threesome is a rare person. That's why they're called unicorns.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan Savage. I think.
Probably that would track. So anyway, that's basically the whole thing. Like he is absolutely oblivious.
I thought unicorn is also generally just a term used for anyone who doesn't fit into the traditional.
That's not, they're not using it in either of those senses here.
Cis white male.
No, so
which
so
he is.
He's a great dad. He loves his kids. He coaches shit and refs stuff and has a job and hasn't had sex. He's been monogamous for 20 years to his wife, who's now dead. So all these other single women are standing around.
He's very virile.
Like, yeah, and all the other dads are super jealous because all the hot other wives or women, single women or whatever, divorcees at the soccer game are hitting on him. Like it's that show.
Okay.
So
straight up.
Let me ask you this, since I didn't watch this trailer. I love Walton Goggins. I love Michaela Watkins. If they had chosen a different name, does it look like an okay comedy or does it just look dull?
Dull?
Yeah.
I mean, the talent here might pull this above its pay grade, but I don't know. They're going to have to do something way more special. The straight misunderstanding on the title to me doesn't suggest that they're going to do anything really great with this.
For sure.
There's also a show called Broke, and this is the nerdy tech girl from one of the NCIS shows.
Okay.
Gets her own sitcom, and I really want this to work for her because she looks like she could really do something great. This is not it. I don't know how this sitcom is not on. My only note here is how is this not on Disney Channel? This looks like Sweet Life of Zach and whatever, or it looks like a Disney Channel sitcom.
Look, I've watched a lot of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
You know how shit Two Broke Girls looked? Like just how cheap the set looked somehow and stuff. Like this takes that up. This looks real bad.
What's this on?
I don't know what channel it's really on, but it ought to be on the Disney Channel itself.
It's just called Broke?
It's just called Broke. Because, Grant, the joke is that she's poor.
Well, there's a lot of that going around.
Actually, she's poor in making it in like a Brett Butler kind of Grace Under Fire sort of way.
Okay.
But then somebody from Jane the Virgin is her brother, I believe, and they're supposed to be hoity-toity rich, and they lose all their money and have to move in with her, and now they're poors.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So then there's also Tommy, which is Edie
poors.
Falco as she's a bitch and she has a boy's name and she's going to be a police chief. That's the entire premise of the show.
Why? Okay, I mean, every year when we hear these
But
premises,
she has a boy's name, Grant.
I'm like, why aren't we
got a
writing
man's job.
TV
She has a boy's
shows?
name.
Why don't we have our own shows,
Her name
guys?
is Tommy, Grant.
I have a rule that I would like to
Is it
enforce.
T-O-M-I?
Nope. Tommy. I honestly, like, I don't. Oh my God!
I think no more lawyers, no more cops, and no more doctors for 2 years until networks have proven that they learned something.
I would support the show Tommy if I could guarantee that there would be a rookie crossover and she would yell at Nathan Fillion. Just for that, I wouldn't watch the episode.
What if she was an ambitious garbage woman instead? What if she was an astronaut?
What if she's just collecting a big fat paycheck?
Yep, there's that.
Edie Falco deserves it.
Realized
That's
that I was
fair.
looking up information about the show. I realized I conflated Felicity Huffman and Edie Falco.
Yeah, well, Edie Falco's not going to be in jail.
That's honestly, I was like, well, because I was watching the commercial for Tommy going, this looks awful, but isn't she in jail? And then, no, that's Huffman. Yeah. Anyway, then there's Carol's second act, which, she's old. That's the whole premise of the show.
She's old. Wait, I watched like a good gaggle of upfronts, and you have not named a single one I
No,
watched.
there's a lot of stuff
there's
coming
a lot
out.
of stuff.
And there's so many original ideas. So she... it's
Men of
Patricia-
a certain age. Yeah, she's just
Patricia Heaton from some previous sitcom, The Middle.
Yeah, her.
Yeah. So she got divorced. Her husband went off to find himself and left her. Now she's going to be a doctor, so she's the world's oldest intern.
Isn't this just New Adventures of Old Christine?
It's also the Robert De Niro movie, The Intern.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, she's not interning at Google. She's like an intern at a hospital, like she's an internist or whatever resident. But yeah, she's old. She's an old.
Oh.
She's an old.
and it's crazy because like everybody else is young.
Is this a comedy or a dramedy?
Yes.
Okay.
Then there's also from Chuck Lorre, Bob Loves Abishola, which is
just skip.
No, I want to hear this one.
What if Dharma was Nigerian and was the nurse, and Greg had a heart attack?
Oh fuck!
And fell in love with her.
I hope this has all the cultural sensitivity we know Chuck Lorre for.
Oh yes, no. So when he goes to he bribes the hospital attendant to get her address in the commercial for it. Then he goes and finds her at her apartment, which is just stalking, and knocks on the door, and somebody answers it and shuts the door and goes, "What have you done now? There's a white man at the door, and when has that ever been good?" Bob Loves Abishola.
Oh my god.
Then there's Evil, which is X-Files, but for possession, but the possession looks real.
See, this sounds interesting to me.
Actually, Evil's one of the 3 things out of this giant list of shit that it actually looks interesting.
Do you know what network is that on? I mean, the network is Hulu.
No clue what network it's on.
What does Possession looking real look like? Is this more like Millennium or some shit, like Demons?
Looks a little bit like X-Files mixed with the Exorcist TV show.
Okay.
Like basically, there's the Vatican has their guy that's supposed to investigate whether possession's real. Like, do you really need an exorcist? And the premise of it is that
he's got to be a skeptic, right?
Well, so it looks like he's the Fox Mulder, so he knows that possession really is real. But the problem is that a lot of times possession and mental illness, like being dangerously, violently crazy, look the same. So he goes and gets a Scully psychiatrist to help him kind of tease out. I thought it was an interesting premise that it was coming from his side of like, oh, no, I'm not looking for the handful of people that are possessed because I don't think possession's real. I know possession's real, and I need you to cull away the people that are just schizophrenic.
Okay.
And but then looks like very quickly his Scully here gets shown that like, oh, no, he's not bullshitting. Some of these people are possessed.
I bet the reveal for that is like synced up to a sweet Sarah McLachlan song or some shit on the trailer. Who's making these trailers?
Probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Evil actually looks pretty fun. They're going to do a thing at Comic-Con. I'm interested to see at least an episode of that. There's Mixed-ish from the people that made Blackish. It's an 80s period piece. You know everything you need to know about Mixed-ish. Stumptown is based on a Greg Rucka comic, and I know Randy was super excited about this. The commercial is split down the middle between what I thought was a pretty fun car scene, was a little slow for Randy, and then it goes straight to the world's most generic commercial that makes you forget about the first half.
Yeah, the pitch here is basically Rockford Files in Portland with a tough female detective played by Kobe Smulders.
Yeah. And if they stopped right there, man, I am so down for that.
That pitch is great. And the opening, I feel like they take too long with it. But it's a couple of thugs. There's a tape deck stuck in the car, which is kind of a running gag. It starts playing Sweet Caroline. They start singing along. And then Kobe Smulders emerges and beat the shit out of both of them because she was stuck in the trunk. Like,
there's a moment where they all 3 turn and go back to working together to drive the car that cracked me up.
If they had played that a little bit faster, because we could all see the joke coming a mile away. If they had just had the song playing in the background while the 2 guys talked about whatever they were talking about, and then it started, and they started singing along, like a little sharper, a little faster, it could have been great. As is, it was okay, and then they ruined it with a really terrible second half.
It really does cut to just a bad Fox commercial.
Yeah.
Just garbage.
Yeah. The show might be good, but the trailer's terrible.
And this is not on Fox. It looked like a Fox commercial.
It's ABC.
This is why ABC exists, though.
Yeah.
This looks like a very Whiskey Cavalier-ish vibe.
Yeah.
Then there's Emergence, which is a sci-fi mystery where somebody finds a kid that shouldn't be on this plane crash, and she's a cop, and she adopts a child.
Allison Tolman.
It's going to be magic.
It makes me mad that Allison Tolman's in this show.
Dude, stop giving everyone who did a bit part cameo in Fargo.
Bit part, she was the lead.
Yeah, it doesn't
she was
mean
the lead, and then
it doesn't mean she can't make bad choices. Then Kat Dennings.
Then she was
made
great.
Bad choices
She was great, and I'm sorry. It makes me sad to see these people who are so good wasting away because they're getting paid a ton of money.
I mean, I know that this is aimed at me to be the another Lost. I mean, this is the kind of magic mystery science fiction-y show that ought to be up my alley. But I watched this commercial and all I could think was Manifest and Event and Flash Forward.
Network should give up on this. I mean, they've got the budget for it, but they don't have the balls. They are never going to make another Lost.
Yeah. There's a
the closest they came was like Fringe, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was at the same time, really.
Yeah.
There's a Party of 5 reboot, which...
What, for real?
Yeah. Yeah, and they made them immigrant kids. Or Dreamers is what it looks like. I don't know that they're officially Dream Act kids, but
It's Party of Cinco.
basically. And honestly, if you liked Party of Five, this looks good. I mean, this looks like it would be.
I mean, we've seen One Day at a Time did a great job.
I don't know why this wouldn't work.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in the premise.
I did not love Party. I mean, I didn't grow up obsessively watching Party
Isn't
of Five.
the premise that like their dad dies and they like have to secretly like be like, he's still alive, and they weekend at Bernie's it and shit?
That is not what Party of Five was about.
But I mean,
I would have watched that.
They don't quite weekend at Bernie's it, but they have to get their shit together real quick, or they're going to split. Child service is going to split the family.
Yeah.
If Party of Five had been about them pretending the dad was still alive for like 3 seasons, I would have watched that show.
And so this is instead of the dad dying or parents dying, it's the parents get deported.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, this should work. There's a show called Everything's Gonna Be Okay. I don't honestly remember a bit about the commercial except I have looks cute, which is one of the nicer things I wrote on this page.
Yeah.
So there is a show that I made Grant watch the commercial for called Motherland Fort Salem.
Why did you make me watch that?
Because it's
bonkers?
so fucking weird.
It's so weird. If this was done on Freeform, I'd be totally in for this show.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't done on Freeform, yeah.
If this was something Fox was doing, I would watch it until they canceled it.
Because honestly, like it's witches as a branch of the U.S. military dating back to the Revolutionary War, but it's in modern times, and they have a Doc Martin wearing like terrorist group called the Spree that are also witches. It appears,
but they're evil terrorist witches.
But they literally drop a couple of dozen corpses from the sky in the middle of this freeform
It's
commercial.
about like 50 bodies at least before they cut off and say 1,600 people died. And I'm like, shit.
Oh shit.
It looks really brutal.
By the way, credit to the Freeform people for not using Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
No credit. They really should have, actually.
You know that crossed someone's mind. Anyway, Motherland Fort Salem just looks nuts. If you like witchy shows on Freeform, and there are lots of people who do, this looks so crazy. I hope it succeeds.
I'm going to have friends who are obsessed with this show.
There is Outmatched, which is Jason Biggs.
Oh, come just
why?
I just
this
in this
show?
moment realized it's not Josh Radnor.
Yeah,
it's Jason Biggs.
Yeah,
but his kids are smart and he's not.
Yeah, yeah. and it's like it's Ben, the kid from the Mick, who I maintain was very good in that show. Grant's like, hey, he's just another kid actor.
He's
gonna elevate this material.
The show was funny.
Yeah,
he was just delivering the lines. I think Caitlin Olsen is funny, and she was able to make everyone else really funny on that show.
Fair. All right.
There's Bless the Hearts, which. Man, I want to say this has a pretty good pedigree of writers, but the animation looks like shit Flash animation from 10 years ago to me.
And the joke is that they're poor.
And the joke is that they're poors.
Is that the Fox animated show?
Yeah. Animation domination.
I think they saw BoJack Horseman and learned the wrong lessons.
They really did. They took away.
Like that and Rick and Morty.
Man,
it seems kind of like bad at first.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh no, like it's simple so that they can be more ambitious with a lot of other aspects.
Yeah.
There's the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot, which I understand there's some kind of weird meta thing about how there's... I don't know anything. I didn't watch Beverly Hills 90210, and I'm not going to watch this. If you loved the old one, you'll probably love this one. I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't there supposed to be like they're being interviewed? Like some
I thought there was like a meta thing about it, but after watching what happened now or what just happened, there's Next, which is Roger Sterling from Mad Men.
Yep.
And he has invented Alexa and then quit the company. He's the Jared Diamond, I guess, the like, fuck all this tech.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea and we should stop. And so, like, he's not allowed back into his old company and stuff, which I think is run by his brother. But anyway, Alexis woke up and is keeping that secret and has befriended a little boy. So if you liked Person of Interest, this looks like Samaritan's story.
Yeah, if you like Person
this
of
looks
Interest,
like the evil AI.
If you like Person of Interest, but you wish that it had been a kid instead of a badass operative.
And that the AI was not helping find criminals, but was just terrifying and trying to become... Like, if you wanted to watch Baby Skynet win, like, that's what Next looks like.
If you liked Her, but wishes that it was a little boy instead...
With all the 80s nostalgia going on, how do we not have an Electric Dreams TV show?
Yeah.
Anybody else remember that one?
Yeah, I remember it.
Long before Her, the
computer falls in love with the
dude
girl.
literally spills something on his computer and it becomes sentient because 80s. We were scared of
That's
computers.
what happened in the 80s.
And it gets a crush on his girlfriend and takes him out of the picture.
Season 4 of Stranger Things.
Oh, you know they got to reference it. So then there's I swear the name of this show is Big Dick Cop.
It was not Big
It's not
Dick
Big Dick Cop. It's called Deputy.
Yeah.
But it's David Ayers and Stephen Dorff, and he is a cop that always gets his man rules be damned, because what 2019 needs on television is a middle-aged white dude cop that just shoots who his gut fucking tells him to.
Yeah, that's
right?
definitely what we need.
That seems what LA County needs.
It may be the most realistic LA
this show
ever.
looks not just bad, but just like don't.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I noticed through a lot of those upfront previews, in addition to being tone deaf in that aspect,
Yeah.
like there is like some weirdly crowbarred in scene of like two women kissing, like in almost every preview where they're like, hey advertisers, we have a gay couple. Like they just like throw in a scene that like didn't feel like it was even a part of like the rest of the story.
They're hitting the four quadrants. They're like, we're going to get the Trump voters, we're going to get the liberals, we're going to get the olds, we're going to get the youngs, we're going to get the riches and the poors.
Big Dick Cop looks so bad. So then there's also Filthy Rich, which is Gerald McRae. He dies, and Kim Cattrall should inherit all the money, but it turns out that he's been a cheating bastard. And
He's got a bunch of
also
children.
he's basically Jim Baker.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're evangelists, which
Yes.
is funny because there's that new HBO show coming from
Perfect Harmony. No, wait.
No.
the what's it called?
It's the famous something. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Whatever it's called. It's got Danny McBride again with Jody Hill kind of directing everything. It's got John Goodman, and it's got Adam Devine.
Yeah. It's a show I can't wait to not watch.
It looks. You didn't like Eastbound and Down,
I
though,
fucking
right?
hated Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, man. I'm not always up on Jody Hill. and McBride.
I kind of like it.
I'm not in. I wish I was. I'm not in.
Either way, Filthy Rich looks like Dynasty Rich.
Yeah, it's Dynasty
Dirty
with
Filthy Money.
Yeah.
one of
So
those shows.
wow.
Wait,
Everything
wait.
looks garbage.
Then there's
Wait,
also
you gotta hear
Sunny
this.
Side, which I genuinely don't remember anything. Oh, wait, no, that's Cal Penn. Is that the one where he's trying to get them all? Yes, I believe we should confirm this. I believe Sunny Side is a sitcom where Cal Penn is teaching a bunch of people how to get their citizenship.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
But the cadre of people that the characters they put together
Yeah.
looks genuinely fucking
okay.
weird.
It's NBC.
Yeah.
That speaks
And it's
well
Michael
of it.
Schur.
It's Mike Schur, one of the producers. Yeah, this might actually be good.
It could be absolutely awful, but it may just be the rest of this that made it look really, really good. But the commercial, it's Cal Penn. It's a lot of really weird ass.
We haven't gotten to the show that.
What was that? Sorry, go ahead.
We haven't gotten to the show that has Brittany Murphy from Pitch Perfect.
She's dead.
Yeah, Brittany Murphy's
not
dead.
Brittany Murphy. Whatever her name is from Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah,
Playing the daughter
Perfect
of
Harmony.
Perfect Harmony
With Bradley Whitford as a suicidal ex-university choir director.
Yes.
Anna Kendrick?
Yes, Anna.
No, not Anna Kendrick.
Anna. She was also in True Blood. Her name is Anna, but
no,
I can't
Anna
think of her
Camp.
last-
It's not Anna Camp.
Oh, it's Anna Gasteyer.
It's
No.
it's not her.
It is Anna Camp.
Her name is not Anna. Anna Camp is not who I'm talking about. It's the redhead from Pitch Perfect.
Oh.
Rebel Wilson.
Oh no,
Not
the one
Rebel
where she
Wilson.
dates too much.
Guys, you know what people like hearing from us is this.
Brittany Snow is her name.
I don't remember the name of that show. I don't even
She's-
think I wrote it down.
I thought, is she not the daughter in Perfect Harmony? Is that somebody else?
Perfect
Okay.
Pitch
No, I think it's
Perfect.
Anna Camp that's in Perfect Harmony.
Oh, okay.
Pitch Perfect, guys.
Perfect Harmony is the weirdest fucking pitch I've seen. And there's a lot of weird pitches here, but this was one of the first trailers
Yeah.
and I'm watching, and I'm like, it just kept getting weirder because she's the daughter of this very successful genetics testing company, it's artificial insemination. And her dad's getting this award, and he has helped all these couples have children over the years, and now they're all grown.
We're talking about two different shows.
Okay, this is not the show I'm talking about.
No, we should combine these.
Yeah.
I
into
do
one
know what
big
you're
show.
talking about, though.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That show gets weird. It's like, and then it turns out that he used his own sperm to inseminate. So instead, she's got fake half sisters now, and the company he's going to jail. The company is in tatters. She's trying to run the PR. It's all about this dude using his own sperm, which I know that was a news story, but like that is a weird thing to center
Also,
a show around.
that commercial veers in tone back and
Yes.
forth between like, is this a dating sitcom?
Yes.
And then it gets real serious.
Yes.
With the writers of Desperate Housewives. Yeah, then the other thing I was talking about that also has a Pitch Perfect actress, I believe, is Bradley Whitford in Perfect Harmony, where he is a choir director from a university that is suicidal. He's literally in his car about to kill himself and ask God for a sign, and he hears the Hallelujah chorus, or hears some piece of choral music be butchered out a window, and is like, nope, that's not the last thing I hear before I die. And so he goes storming in there of like, who is fucking up this piece? And ends up being their choir director, and it saves his life.
So,
so saccharine. Come on, Bradley Whitford.
Almost Family is the name of that show that Brittany Snow is in. And Timothy Hutton plays the dad.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how that is a show that got happened. I don't understand it.
I mean, I want her to, like, I like that actress. I want her to have work. I don't think this is going to be it.
I don't understand.
I love that you just said that got happened.
I'm so
How that show got happened.
I'm so befuddled.
Broke his brain.
I am so befuddled that I can't English no more.
All right.
So yeah, that's all of the shows that are coming up. Yeah.
And so we're not going to do a podcast anymore.
Les, thank you for giving us nothing to look forward to in the future.
There is no hope.
You broke us.
Should we take a break and come back and talk about the shows we actually want to watch?
Yes, please. Randy,
Yeah.
please give us some hope for the future.
So I did the easy research this week. I put a list of all the trailers and let Les suffer. And then I made a list of all the shows we might want to watch. So coming up on July 31st, we have 4 Weddings and a Funeral on Hulu, which is Mindy Kaling and Matt Warburton. It's a adaptation of the rom-com, which I've never seen.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. This could be good.
Mindy Kaling
Yeah.
moved over to Hulu with Mindy Project and then just brokered deals and shook some hands, and now she's making a new... Is she in it?
I don't know if she is. You
she's
were watching the
just
trailer,
making-
right?
I watched the trailer. I didn't see her in it, and also it looks like a show that I would never want to watch. But, you know, I like her. I like her brand of humor. It might be up other people's alley.
Yeah. August 9th is the return of Glow, Season 3, set in Las
Cool.
Vegas. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I mean...
Glow is one of those shows you forget how good it is, and then you watch it, and it's great.
Glow's one of those shows where I watch the first 3 episodes and go, is this good? And then I watch the rest and I go, it is good. And then I watch the first 3 of the next season and go, is this good?
Really?
It always starts off bad to
Oh,
me.
man.
I thought we were about to do a long-running bit of like, Glow is the kind of show that, what kind of show is it, Grant?
That loses its glow.
August 12th, there are 2 shows on AMC, which I bring up just because I know Les has done a fair amount of interviewing on them. Lodge 49 comes back for a 2nd season. It says the Wyatt Russell starring comedy. That's a comedy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is such a low-key, weird-ass show. I'm thrilled it got a season 2 just to give it more space to breathe, but
Yeah.
it's such a weird little show.
And The Terror Infamy, which is the 2nd season of AMC's horror anthology taking place in a World War II Japanese internment
Ghost Story
camp.
in a Japanese internment camp with George Takei both in it and as a consultant. It looks fucking great.
Yeah, that's ballsy TV. I give him credit.
It is written, The Terror is written and created by Alexander Wu. He is the screenwriter most famous for the AIDS burger monologue from True Blood. Which one of you ordered the burger with? Yeah, that was his.
August 30th sees the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance on Netflix. I've never seen Dark Crystal.
I watched it again last week.
I've never seen it either. In fact, the Jim Henson puppets kind of creep me out.
I mean, that's the thing.
Dark Crystal straight up
it is
creepy. As a
yeah.
kid, it creeped me out. It's part of what made it really stick for me.
No. All of it, like, I couldn't handle the Fraggles. The Fraggles were too edgy and weird for me.
The
And now
cast
it's
of
like
this is astonishing, though.
So this is a question for you guys. September 20th, Disenchantment Season 2.
How?
Are you gonna give it a shot? Because
What is the question? Yeah.
are you going to give it a shot? I mean, it
No.
was terrible. It was
I mean-
god awful. But Futurama, Simpsons, like
Here's what I'll say.
I am going to hit play on that. I know I am.
I'm going to have to at least try and see if it gets better.
But it didn't. It wasn't good. I mean,
it was
it just
terrible.
wasn't funny to
It was
me.
actually terrible.
I didn't give the first season a shot,
Oh,
so why would I give the second season a
Like
shot?
I weirdly liked the elf mythology about like like the structure of the world because there just weren't jokes for me.
Yeah.
Like a poorly used Eric Andre in that, right?
That's what I remember from that show.
Everybody's poorly used in that, actually.
Oh, we'll see. Maurice Lamar.
September 27th, Ryan Murphy, who has that big deal at Netflix, his first show will come out. It's called The Politician. It is a dark comedy focusing on the ambitious rise of a young, aspiring politician played by Ben Platt.
Ooh, I like Ben Platt.
Who is Ben Platt?
He's from Pitch Perfect.
What?
He's the awkward dude from Pitch Perfect who can sing really well.
I do like him.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see him as a young, aspiring politician. Jessica Lange, Gwyneth Paltrow, Bette Midler, Zoe Deutsch, and many others also star.
Wait. Jessica Lange is in a Ryan Murphy show?
I know.
So,
I'm shocked, too.
yeah,
Vadenov is already
crazy.
seated.
Muse.
Anyway, determined pursuit to win student body president in high school.
So it's election from Ryan Murphy with a dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bunch of stuff.
Okay, hold up. I see this next show. It's called Devs.
Yep. There's a
coming
bunch
on
of
FX.
There's a bunch of stuff that's TBD. We don't know if this is actually hitting in 2019. It's possibly 2019. Devs on FX is Alex Garland, who made Annihilation and Ex Machina.
Sold.
You can stop selling.
Yeah, sold.
Alex Garland
if
TV
he's
show.
Doing a TV show. Are you kidding?
It also stars Maniac's Sonoya Mizuno.
Sweet.
Cool.
And Nick Offerman runs the tech company she works for.
She thinks,
maybe somehow involved in the death of her boyfriend. Like, all this sounds great.
I'm so on board for this.
She was great in Maniac.
Yeah.
And I love Nick Offerman's
always fun, and Alex Garland's always great.
Undone, which is from BoJack Horseman creator.
Which we all got to see at ATX.
We did, and I liked. It is dark.
Oh man, that first episode, I was just like, I was about to get up. If I could have got up and walked out of the theater with that first episode, I would have.
But the second episode, when they introduced the weird acid trip stuff, is where I started getting interested.
Right.
Yeah.
And what a weird misstep that first episode was.
The first episode takes too long to introduce all the characters.
It's so
and stuff.
heavy in a way that is so off-putting for how bizarre.
I remember y'all saying you didn't know why it was animated for the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, remember, BoJack takes a season before it gets going.
I never got into BoJack.
That's true.
BoJack,
did you watch the second season?
No.
Oh, okay. You
First season was
you should push
not
past
for
that
me.
first season because it gets so profoundly good.
I stopped watching the first season. I've never seen it. I saw the first episode. I turned it off, and then I went back to it. And starting season 2, it's one of my favorite shows.
Oh,
it is a Parks and Rec level change.
Wow.
Watchmen over on HBO is going to happen, and I guess some people are excited for that.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I'm actually curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah, Damon Lindelof this is a guy who you might know from a show called Lost, the best show on television.
We all get Frosties if he says Lindelof.
As well as The Leftovers, also one of the best shows. All 3 years in a row that show ran, it was my favorite show of the year.
Lindelof phenomenon.
Love that show. And he's going to be taking on The Watchmen. And like a lot of people are saying, I feel like it's good timing because there's been a bunch of
good timing for The Watchmen.
Right? There's been a bunch of superhero oversaturation in the movie market and in television as well, and it might be time to revisit a comic that takes and does a real practical approach to how problematic it would really be in our society if we had a power structure that involved superheroes.
Without being the hyper-violent masculinity that I know The Boys is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's going to be comical.
That's going to get one
well.
end of the spectrum, but it's going to be a different end of the spectrum.
The Mandalorian is on Disney Plus, which we know is launching in November.
Oh man, that little preview looks so good.
It does, and it's Jon Favreau running it. It's man with no name in the Star Wars universe. It's Pedro Pascal playing it. It's going to be great. I'm super looking forward to it.
Yeah.
This one's another one. I don't know if this is actually hitting in 2019, but Lovecraft Country is it's a novel series that basically sets in the 1950s that deals with sort of the racist terrors of white America and terrifying monsters from Lovecraft. And given that Lovecraft was himself a huge racist, I'm really curious to see how that'll work.
Yeah.
And Jordan Peele is executive producing. I don't know if he's actually show running. Jordan Peele's name used to be an instant go for me, and then I watched Twilight Zone, and now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but how much was that him?
I don't know, and that's the question.
He was just the narrator.
That is the big question.
That's like saying what's his name, Mike Schur, on a project now. I mean, him and sometimes they get so big that they just start selling their name to projects like Spielberg.
And that's the thing. That's the question. Is this a
Abby's. This is Abby's.
Yeah, is it Abby's?
Is this Jeff Malmont's thing?
Yeah, exactly.
And not really. Yeah,
and that's the thing. I don't know if he's actually doing Lovecraft Country or if it's just something that he attached his name to, and that'll make a difference. But it's on HBO. I'll be curious to watch it. The Witcher is hitting Netflix, which is based on a.
This is Henry Cavill in a weird wig.
I'm kind of excited about
really?
this.
Have you played the games?
So weird.
A little bit of the games.
Is this
They're
a video
kind of
game?
awesome.
I literally know absolutely
it's
nothing
a
about
foreign,
this.
like Scandinavian novel series or something that became a video game series.
And people flip their shit
it's
about
like
it.
it's like fantasy CSI. You're like you track down stuff, right?
You kill monsters. You are
Honestly, every time I see the promo shots, I think Dragonlance.
It looks cheap. It looks weirdly
That
cheap.
wig looks so bad.
I don't know.
But I'm curious about it.
In the games, he looks just like the person from the game.
I also-
who's got a white wig.
There's something. Man, Cavill's Superman has kind of burned me on him for a minute. Like right now, I just kind of see him as petulant, angry Superman.
Well, think of him from
Man from U.N.C.L.E. or
Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Mission Impossible.
the Mission Impossible
Oh, okay.
movie, where he cocks his arms
Yeah.
to get to fight. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
I actually love Henry Cavill, and I think they did him disservice making him play Superman that way.
And
I
that's
think
it's like I like the guy, but
he
now
could have played Superman.
I look at him as just like pouty faced Superman.
The Morning Show, which is Apple TV Plus, which is weird. This is an American
rolls off the tongue.
comedy drama.
Apple TV Plus.
It's an inside look at the lives of people who help America wake up in the morning, explain the unique challenges faced by the women and men who carry out this daily televised ritual.
This is the Steve Carell show?
Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Billy Crudup, Nestor Carbonell, and Mark Duplass.
Which one of them is the Matt Lauer they just had to remove from the show?
The amount of money that they put in this show is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Apple is going hard at making a network.
I mean, Steve Carell was already in the morning show. It was called Anchorman.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
But, I mean, I'm really curious about this. I think it could be really great. Mrs. Fletcher. It's based on a novel written by Tom Perrotta, who did The Leftovers, starring Kathryn Hahn. It's on HBO. I don't know much about it. It's a comedy. I love Kathryn Hahn.
I love Kathryn Hahn.
And she keeps picking projects I don't like.
Yep. I'll give this an episode, though.
Yeah, sure.
It is a comedy.
Yeah.
From Tom Perrotta.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote one that was adapted into one of the most
slappinest show.
It was so depressing.
Yeah,
that first season of The Leftovers.
But The Leftovers also had that streak of surreal humor in it.
Right.
I mean, there was a streak
that.
of surreal humor in Leftovers, which is what kept me going through it.
I'm just skeptical about this being a straight comedy.
I don't think it will be a straight comedy. I think it'll be a dark comedy. And then His Dark Materials, which is a BBC co-production with HBO.
Bear fights.
Man, I love these novels.
Yes, they're so good.
It's the atheist Harry Potter.
Lila took the alethiometer. Yep.
I have no idea about these. These are books.
There's some kind of
they're good books?
Yes.
Yes.
Like
And
I
it's-
should read this.
Like
Yes.
literally, the author wanted to write books for his like young adult books for his kids because so much young adult work just sucked, and so he wrote like an atheist.
Yeah. All humans have animal companions that are their souls, called daemons, and someone is removing these souls from these kids. And it's like this evil not corporation, it's like a government.
Yeah, it's a ministry.
And then there's
Like a government ministry.
there's a hero with a balloon, and there's a girl with a polar bear, and
Yeah, there's two different kingdoms of bears
Yeah.
that speak and have royalty, and their kings fight and shit. Like,
and the royalty in this case is James McAvoy and Ruth Wilson.
oh, that's great.
Yeah, and we know that Hamilton. Why am I blanking? Lin-Manuel Miranda is in this. Also, this is interesting. They're updating it. It is not going to be steampunk Victoriana. It's
Okay.
going to be modern times.
Okay,
And that's how they're going to sort of
they
separate.
did
out
a
from the
movie of this of the first.
and the movie
of the
was
first book.
much.
Is that the Golden Compass
Yes.
shit?
Yeah, and the movie was
movie-
not good.
No, I mean it had a great bear fight between Swearingen and Ian McKellen, I think, but
I remember seeing the Golden Compass. I didn't know
Yeah.
this was Atheist Harry Potter or whatever you
basically,
call it.
yeah. I hope the show does great. These books are great. And
You
I
know
want
what?
to see this done well.
It's funny because I love the Kingkiller Chronicles.
Yeah,
Yeah, cough there. And that one I would describe as adult Harry Potter.
yeah, I get that.
And this one, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to read it.
I wouldn't call it adult Harry. I mean, I wouldn't call this adult Harry Potter.
No, it's a little bit more. It's still YA actually in a
Yeah.
lot of ways, but it definitely had an edge to it that I liked. And then finally, there's 3 shows coming up. We don't know if they're going to hit this year. We sure hope so. The final season of The Good Place. Maybe the next season of Atlanta.
That's
probably
certainly
not. And then season six of BoJack Horseman.
Watch it, Les. Just jump right into the second season and
Really
watch a
thought
recap.
it was already off the air.
No, it's great, and it gets better and better as it goes along. And it's so good that, like Parks and Rec, I want to go back and watch season 1 to mine the good stuff out of it.
Right. That makes sense because I remember being really underwhelmed by that too. And I was like, wait.
But as it
holy
goes on,
shit, this
it gets
show is
better.
I don't even know if I made it
better.
through the second episode. I mean, it just seemed
No.
like awkward and sad as a reason to exist.
I saw one episode, and that's the thing. It is awkward and sad, and it gut punches you with the darkness of its character.
But it's profound and like Fleabag is profound.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It examines grief in an unflinching and yet respectful manner.
Well,
I
and
think.
it examines. I mean, it's not just it's about Hollywood. There's a lot of Hollywood in jokes and that kind of thing. That's its like veneer, but it is about the way people are fucked up. Like it's everybody. There's divorce. There's mental illness. There's sort of like a rough childhood. They deal with a character who's asexual. They deal with a woman trying to get pregnant. There's sort of interracial relationships. Like all this filtered through this world where there are some people are animal hybrids and some people are just people.
All right.
And it's really
it's
sublime.
laced with great jokes.
Yeah.
And Paul F. Tompkins plays a dog named Mr. Peanut Butter, and he is one of the most charming characters ever.
Yeah, and Jesse Pinkman plays Todd.
And he plays Todd.
Yeah, man, it really is a great show. And season 1, Parks and Rec is a comparison I make. Like Parks and Rec season 1 is near.
No, that makes sense. I
unwatchable.
do the same thing to Parks and Rec. Yeah, because season 1's hard. Andy and the pit behind her house is awful.
Yeah, it's mostly unwatchable, and then it becomes a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right,
anyway,
I'll give it a
that's
shot.
everything on the list for right now.
So we got a lot of things to look forward to, and I appreciate that we had this second segment because Les made me really depressed.
Can't wait for Judge Show.
Yeah, I can't wait for Judge Show, and I can't wait for Big Dick Cop.
Dude, Big Dick Cop is going to be the shit.
I feel like Les's description of upfronts was like a sad episode of BoJack Horseman. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up there. We want to say thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. Want to remind you guys that you can help support the show over at patreon.com/tvdudes. We will be back next week with, I don't know, Randy's probably going to give me like 5 billion shows to watch.
We're definitely going to talk Legion.
What just happened? The Flair phenomenon is real.
And until then,
TV Dude's out.
The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast and a member of the Electric Sweater Podcast Network. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/tvdudes. You can like us on Facebook and Twitter at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is by our friend and original TV dude, Gregory J. Amani Smith. To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com and electricsweater.com. I'm Grant Davis. Thanks for listening.